Welcome back, everyone, to Bay Sunday. Maybe you've had that idea for a book, a screenplay, magazine article, or poem that's been in your head for a long, long time. Well, now it is time to get it on paper. And as author and speaker Sam Horn says, if you think it, ink it. And there are lots of accomplished authors and writers out there who are willing and ready to help you. Joining me now is Josh Mohr, an author whose book, Some Things That Meant the World to Me, was an Oprah favorite. But he also has a couple of other books, Termite Parade, and then one coming out in October called Damascus. And Josh also helps others write. He's a teacher at the Writing Salon. It's a Bay Area school of creative writing, and he joins me now to talk about that and the creative process. Josh, welcome to you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Let's. I've read your first book, but you have a new one coming out, Damascus. Quickly tell us about that.
I do. Yeah, it's a book set in the Mission District of San Francisco. It's about an anti-war art show, where the main character nails some live fished canvases during the art opening, and there are some people that take offense to the way she's kind of expressing her angst, and kind of the novel ensues from there.
Well, I remember in your first book you had a character, Rhonda, who lived in a garbage sort of dumpster or something like that. So very quirky characters and set in the Bay Area.
Yeah,
so
all in the Mission.
That's definitely a lot of fun. How did you develop your love of writing?
You know, I came to my love of writing kind of later. I wasn't one of those precocious kids kind of sitting on grandma's
well, you're
lap.
not that old, come on.
Well, but after I got out of college, I had an advertising job that offered me a lot of free time during the day. So I started kind of pecking away at some short stories and just fell in love with finding this way to express myself creatively.
And you also teach at the Writing Salon. In full disclosure, I met Josh because I took flash fiction. I didn't know anything about flash fiction, and it was fascinating. But talk about the Writing Salon and the types of classes that you teach there.
The Writing Salon started in the late 90s. There's one in the Mission District of San Francisco, also one in Berkeley, California. Focus on, fiction, poetry, playwriting, screenwriting, blogging. I think this time they're even doing a class on writing for video games. Whatever we can do to kind of tap into that imagination that we all have. I think so often once we get into kind of the milieu of sitting 8 hours in the cube, our imaginative lives kind of take the back seat.
Well, and I know I've taken also one called Round Robin, which is just the discipline of writing, that you write every day, and it's an online class with a partner, 10 minutes, just to get those thoughts on paper and get your motor running there.
Well, that's one of the things that writers, I don't think, talk about enough, is just the idea of muscle memory.
Well, and the discipline, tell me about it, how it works for you.
Getting into the chair 3, 4, 5 hours, excuse me, every day, just developing those habits. It isn't this really mystical thing where we suddenly sit down and, poof, we write a book.
Oh, yeah, this wonderful stuff comes out,
Right. I mean, that's kind of the sexy story that we all want to imagine, but what really happens is day after day after day going back and revising those words.
So you just get started, you just sit down and you write.
You gotta work.
Okay. What about writer's block? People saying, I don't have anything to write about. What am I going to say?
Yeah, and that's one of the dilemmas that we're going to kind of constantly be grappling with. But I think the more time that we spend actually letting our characters do the work for themselves, sitting down, getting past the cursor flashing, and just making ourselves do the work, I mean, it can be really fun.
Well, one of the things, when I took a look at the Writing Salon website, there's one that I want to take that is called How to Write a 10-Minute Play, How to Start Your Memoir, Essay Writing, How to Write an Editorial. So really, you can start anywhere, and you can be a beginner, right? I mean, this is what it's all about.
I think, beginning to advanced, I've had people post MFA programs, people writing their first short story. All that really matters is that you have the desire, the urge, and just you want to go have fun. It's important that we keep art in perspective. We're not, curing cancer here. We're all going there to have a really good time and to express ourselves.
It is a very supportive community. So what is next for you? You're still teaching at the Writing Salon,
I teach at the Writing Salon.
What are you going to be teaching?
I'll be teaching a Sunday night fiction workshop, and then also a 6-month continuation class that's garnered toward people kind of working their way through their first novel. All
right, I have to ask you this because I saw it on your first book. You were in your acknowledgments. You wanted to apologize for giving your family headlights. Was that true?
That's what you want to bring up on television?
Well, I just thought it was very interesting. You had dreadlocks at the time.
I did.
Is it true?
Unfortunately, I had dreadlocks in high school, and I gave my entire family lice, and they're still a little upset with me. So hopefully we can start the healing process here today.
Well, after 3 books, I hope they would be very, very proud of you. Josh, thanks so much, and great to see you again, and good luck with your classes and your writing. So, and Damascus coming out in October of this year. Great. All right, author Josh Mohr, again, teaching at the Writing Salon in San Francisco and Berkeley and online. So check out the website. It is Writing Salon, salons.com, for more information about upcoming classes and just getting started. Come on, time's a-wasting. We want to interview you on Bay Sunday about your book. And that's all the time we have for this edition of Bay Sunday. I'm Sydnie Kohara. See you next week.